The Poison 4, a high-performance cross-country and competition paraglider from Skywalk. How does it perform in the air? Welcome to the Paragliding XC Stories. In this story, I'll share my impressions from flying the Skywalk Poison 4. I took the wing for 2 XC flights in both strong and weak alpine conditions. The wing size is 95 and I flew it slightly above the top of the weight range at 97 kilos. There's no need to overload this wing though. The reason I did it is simple. For the next size, I'd need too much ballast, so I decided to try the smaller size instead. As usual, a short note. This isn't a comprehensive review. This video reflects my personal independent opinion. With these small icons I'll show what I liked and didn't like. If you have any questions after watching this video, feel free to reach out to me via my socials or my Telegram group. You can find the links in the video description. Alright, let's jump in. The wing is quite heavy, however, it inflates easily for its class. Surely not the easiest takeoff, high-can-fly E&D wings require less pull, but still I liked how it inflates. The risers are simple and functional. The Stabilar line is attached to the risers, which is not very common among two-liners, so you'll have one additional method for resolving cravats. Nice. I didn't like the snap fasteners for attaching the brakes. Why didn't Skywalk use magnetic ones? The B handles are great, comfortable to hold and placed at the right height. This is where the wing shines. It's not overwhelmingly agile, but rather very precise and direct. You can put it into any turn or bang angle without much effort. I liked it. Even in narrow thermals where you need that precise control, it's a pleasure.
Super small bubble, but absolutely no problem with this wing. You can control it really easily.
The brake pressure is quite firm, but the brakes engage early, so you don't need to pull much. The brake shifting works well too. This is definitely another highlight. The comfort level is unbelievably high. The glider is very pitch damped and feels incredibly solid. At the same time, it filters out all the shaking. This is probably the most comfortable high-performance wing I've ever tried. It's just made for 10-hour XC flights.
Of course, it's a big advantage if you fly for 8 or 10 hours in strong conditions. Then you can relax and concentrate on planning your flight and flying fast.
The Poison 4 doesn't move much in turbulence, but when it does, the wing requires fast and precise control. It is still an E&D wing. I noticed that the trim speed is quite high. Sure, it's partly because I slightly overloaded the wing, but speed is safety, so no need to complain. Still, takeoff, landing and coring in small bubbles can be a bit more challenging. On bar, the wing gets fast too. I haven't compared it directly to other wings, but from my subjective feeling, it belongs among the top performing wings in the E&D class. The speed bar travel is moderate for this size, the bigger ones have a longer travel. I noticed that the wing becomes quite sensitive on full bar. Notice how my harness starts to move around. No doubt, this is another highlight and maybe one of the strongest points of this wing. Even overloaded, I could easily outclimb everyone, even in the weakest thermals. The Poison 4 is just a climbing machine, very impressive.
But in the beginning of the flight, the conditions were really weak, like almost non-existing thermals. But I still managed to climb even in those very weak conditions. So the glider itself, it climbs really well.
I think it will be a great companion in tricky and difficult spots. Okay, and now something I didn't really like. The Poison 4 feels incredibly stable, but maybe that is also the reason why it doesn't communicate much. There's little information on the brakes and on the B risers, so I'm missing that fine-grained feedback about the air around me and about the wing's angle of attack. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but I personally preferred more feedback from the wing. I didn't experience any collapses and could easily control the wing in turbulence. However, I know from a couple of very good pilots that the Poison 4 can suddenly and violently collapse in strong turbulence without any warning. Maybe it's because the wing is so super solid and not very talkative. Still, because the wing climbs so well, this rather muted feedback is not necessarily a disadvantage. Maybe you can learn to understand it better, I just didn't have enough time for that. So, what's my takeaway? I think the Skywalk Poison 4 is a great high-performance cross-country and competition wing. It offers a well-balanced package of very comfortable flying, high speed, good glide and precise direct handling. If you are looking for a high-performance, rock-solid wing for long-distance flights, I'd recommend giving it a try. If you are looking for a more talkative wing with fine-grained feedback, this might not be the best fit. But as I mentioned in the beginning, these are just my personal impressions. Your experience might be different, so I'd suggest trying the wing for yourself. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found this video useful. Feel free to reach out to me via my socials. You can find the links in the description. Fly safe and see you in the next story.